Well, hello and welcome. No sense in beating around the bush. Let's get right to it. Holosun HE509T Red Dot. When I first saw this get produced by Holosun, I was very excited. It's got a lot of the features that I like, and we'll touch more on that soon. But it's also got something that completely threw me off guard because I'm half retarded, which I fully admit, which we're also going to get to soon. Right off the bat, 2MY dot, and then the dot in the circle. That's the only two options. You do not get just the circle like you do get some of the other options from Holosun. There's all the information you're going to need, and that's really it. Now, this box was extremely tight when I got it from Holosun, and it's since actually separated, but that is fine, because before it was so tight, I literally couldn't get it off. Typical Holosun fashion, it comes in this beautiful plastic hard case. We remove the top. We have our owner's manual, which we're going to flip through in a second. A little cleaning cloth, and that cute little itty bitty thing right there. Just look at this thing. It is adorable. Very small and lightweight. Yeah, there are lighter options out there, but for what this is, being fully enclosed, so this way you don't have to worry about the emitter getting dirty, solar panel, nice glass front and rear, it's surprising to say the least. So before we get into that, let's see what else is included. You saw it on the box. This is an RMR plate, but I kind of wish you didn't need an adapter plate to have this work on an RMR footprint. You got some extra screws in there for the RMR plate, and of course your typical Holosun adjustment tool, which is nice to have. These are really sweet. So let's real quick flip through the owner's manual. Not much really to know, other than all of your features right there. Holosuns have really come up in the market in the last couple of years, and rightfully so. They offer a ton of really cool features, very good build quality for a very affordable price. They are made in China, but it seems like a lot of people have been able to get past that fact, myself included. Why? Well, when I reviewed this 512GD from Scott, I didn't let him have this back. I bought it from him because I liked it that much. Granted, it's got some quirks, such as the center dot not being a perfect circle under magnification, but if I ever use this, it will probably never get magnified. If I'm going to run that route, I'd stick to an LPVO from me personally. The one thing about this that people didn't like, including Scott himself, he prefers the 510 over this because of the quick release mechanism that's on the 510. It's also for the same reasons why I like this, which is why I like this so far, or at least it caught my attention. I like the fact that the emitter is enclosed. I like that there's glass front and rear that's pushed right out to the edge so it's easy to clean. You don't have to worry about trying to get your finger in there and cleaning it up. I think I made the same point with the EOTech XPS I reviewed many years ago, as well as the 507, which is very similar to the scope in a lot of respects. But again, just like the 512 to the 510, this 509 to the 507 has the emitter encased, and it's got glass front and rear in an area where it's easy to clean. So I said this is light, and we're going to touch on that right now because it's hard to really perceive how light something is until you get it in your hands. 2.2 ounces is not all that heavy. However, you have to include the base with that if you're using it for an RMR. And now all of a sudden this thing gets pretty heavy. Now, features galore indeed. The buttons are on the side, which is the proper placement for them. They're nice and large, have a good tactile sound and feel to them, so this way you're going to know when you're engaging them. Solar panels right on top and should keep this thing charged for 50,000 hours plus, like they claim. Battery compartment on the side. Your adjustments for your windage and your elevation are easy to get to. And you have the claw on the side for engaging it. You have a proprietary dovetail cut on both sides. And that's going to lead me into the point why I'm retarded. You see, when I first bought this, I had thought this was a pick rail mount, and I didn't even do any research into it. I saw it for a really good price. I really want one of these, and all of you like Holosun products, so why not? Because I was planning on putting this on my Ruger PCC 9mm home defense carbine. And it's actually funny, because a couple of days prior to me purchasing this, someone had asked, hey, what do you use in your home defense gun? I currently run that gun iron sights, and if you've ever run one of those in iron sights, you'll know that they're really good for home defense. But something this small and this tiny with as good of a features as this has, this low profile as well, would be perfect. So shame on me for being retarded. But you know what? Let's look through this thing and see what it's got to offer. Finally looking through the 509. There's your classic Holosun reticle in the middle, and it looks a little bit oblong to me. It looks a little bit taller than it is wide. The current distance on where this is mounted would be roughly where you'd have it on a carbine-style rifle. Illumination is more than plenty daytime bright. Keep in mind this is an overcast day, but it's still plenty bright to wash out a red dot in this sort of environment. Now, there is some blue tinting to the glass, but that's to be expected with most Holosun products or most red dot or reflex sights in general, the exception of EOTech being one of them. I know it's there for allowing the reticle to be seen a little bit easier, but it's something I don't overly care for. Now, the one nice thing about this is if you're shifting your eyesight on it from side to side or up and down, it's always there, the reticle, and it's fantastic. Holosuns do a really good job of keeping the reticle wherever it's supposed to be pointed, no matter where you are looking through it. I now mounted it where roughly it would be for a pistol, 15 inches from the front of the camera, and it still looks really easy to look through. But we start to really notice some deformation of the top part of the glass, especially when we start going over some hard, solid lines. You start to see that it does some weird things. And that's partly to do, I believe, to how rounded the front glass is. Now, you can't expect much out of this, but for me it was really noticeable. And something that would be distracting, especially on something as small as a pistol. But we'll get to that during the final review. So this being just the unboxing, I'm not going to go too crazy in it, but it's safe to say that there's already some things about this that aren't too exciting for me, at least when looking through it. Everything else seems to be top-notch as far as build quality goes and overall construction, and the fact that it's made out of titanium is a nice extra touch. Anyway, it's thanks to my patrons that I was able to buy this, because I bought this with my own money to review for the channel. Odds are, when I'm done with it, I'll probably end up selling it on my Patreon page, but that's because I'm stupid and I realize this doesn't have a pick rail. I guess the search for a micro reflex for my home defense carbine is still ongoing. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. See you again next time.